It was late October, and the towering trees cast eerie shadows in the fading light. Emma and her friends, Jake, Sarah, and Tom, were on a road trip searching for adventure, fueled by youthful bravado and excitement. They drove for hours, the landscape growing desolate, the roads winding narrower until they discovered an old sign hidden beneath a tangle of vines, Black Hollow, population 200. "Let's check it out. It could be fun," Jake exclaimed, his adventurous spirit igniting as they turned onto a dirt road that seemed to lead them back in time. The further they drove, the more the chill of dusk settled in. With twilight approaching, the quaint town of Black Hollow appeared, seemingly frozen in time, with crumbling buildings and overgrown grass that whispered in the cool breeze. As they parked in front of what appeared to be the town hall, a palpable sense of unease washed over them. Emma felt a shiver dance down her spine. "Are we sure we want to explore this place?" she asked, glancing at the dimly lit street. "Come on, it's just a ghost town. What's the worst that could happen?" Sarah replied, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Reluctantly, the group grabbed their flashlights and stepped out of the car. The air was thick with silence, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the distant call of crows. The streets were empty, and windows of the dilapidated buildings stared back at them like hollow eyes. The scent of damp earth filled the air, mixing uneasily with the faint aroma of wood rot. They wandered deeper into the heart of Black Hollow, passing an old cafe, its windows cracked and boarded but the sign still readable, "Good Eats, EST 1923. Tom pushed the door, the rusty hinges groaning in protest as it opened. Inside, dust motes danced in their flashlights as they stepped over broken chairs and tables that still bore the weight of forgotten meals. "Hey, check it out!" Jake shouted, pointing to something half buried beneath layers of dust. It was an old newspaper, and as he picked it up, the headline sent shivers down their spines. "Mysterious disappearances plague Black Hollow." "Sounds like a good story to tell by the campfire," Sarah chuckled nervously, but the laughter didn't quite reach Emma, who felt a strange tug in her gut as if the town itself was watching them. They moved on, the chilling shadows creeping against the walls. As they stepped into what seemed to be a town square, they noticed an old clock tower, frozen at midnight, its hands forever stuck. Strangely, no signs of life were evident, and as they looked around, their sense of unease deepened. Suddenly, a low rumble echoed in the distance, breaking the silence like a strike of thunder. The ground trembled under their feet, and the air became thick with an unplaceable tension. "What was that?" Tom asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Probably just an old building settling or something," Jake reassured, though his confidence was wavering. They decided to head back to the car, but as they retraced their steps, a distant sound caught their attention, soft, plucking notes of a piano drifting through the air. Eerie and haunting, it beckoned them. "Someone else might be here," Tom said, hope creeping back into his tone. They followed the music, which grew louder with each step, leading them to an old, derelict church. The door creaked open at their touch, revealing a dusty interior bathed in the pale glow of fading light. At the back, an ancient piano sat alone, its keys moving as if played by unseen hands. "Look!" Sarah pointed, a nervous grin spreading across her face. "Maybe we can make our own music." But as she approached the piano, the melody twisted into a discordant wail. The lights flickered violently, and the temperature dropped. Suddenly, a ghostly figure appeared in the shadows, a woman in a tattered white dress, her face obscured by wild, tangled hair. Emma froze, a scream caught in her throat. "Get out," the specter shrieked, her voice a chilling wind that sent the friends staggering back. "Run!" Jake shouted, as terror ignited their adrenaline. They bolted from the church, the echo of the piano trailing behind like a haunting memory. They sprinted back to the car, panic coursing through their veins. But when they reached the parking spot, their hearts sank. The car was gone. "What do you mean it's gone?" Tom gasped, frantically searching the area. "It was parked right here," Emma shouted, fear lacing her words. "They took it. They must have taken it," Sarah cried, the reality dawning on them. They were not just trespassers, they were interlopers in a forsaken town filled with vengeful spirits. the piano's melody drifted back on the wind, more frantic this time. The friends huddled together, the shadows growing thinner around them. "What do we do?" Tom asked, voice shaking. "We find a way out of here," Emma said, determination hardening her resolve. They needed to find the main road or a path out of town. As they navigated through the desolate streets, the specter reappeared at the edges of their vision, watching and whispering, her voice rising and falling with the wind. "Stay, stay," it echoed, merging with the rustling leaves. Desperate, they moved faster, hearts pounding, and then they spotted it, the forgotten entrance to a dense, dark forest at the edge of town. They raced toward it, the cold air closing in around them, the shadows shifting angrily behind. As they plunged into the trees, the darkness enveloped them, branches clawing at their clothes. The whispers transformed into screams, the very earth beneath them thrumming with ancient fury. But they pressed on, trusting instinct over fear. After what felt like an eternity, Emma stumbled into a clearing where moonlight poured in, illuminating the path ahead. "Keep going," she urged, feeling the pull of something behind them, but they couldn't afford to look back. Emerging onto the main road, panting and exhausted, they turned to see the town fading behind them, swallowed by the night. Stars glimmered overhead, twinkling innocently, as if nothing had happened. "What just happened?" Tom gasped, breathless but relieved. Looking back one last time, Emma's heart sank. In the distance, they could see the silhouette of Black Hollow, the clock tower now striking midnight. "Let's go home," she whispered, the chill of that forgotten town settling deep into her bones, knowing they'd barely escaped the haunting grip of a place that would never forget them. As they drove away, the music began again, and the shadows of Black Hollow watched in silence, forever preserving their secrets within its cursed grounds.